Would a man want to be with a woman who's 35? Beats you. You know what? Beats me too, sir. Why would a man want to be with a woman who's 35? Well, if we follow your misogynistic logic...
12 seconds, guys, is the time that it took us to go straight to the insults. Because in the year 2025, if as a man you want to date, say, a young and attractive woman who doesn't have baggage and has been run through, well, you'll be terrified to find out. You're a misogynist, guys. But welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the desert. Greeting you is the misogynistic king himself, the 4,000-year-old patriarchal pig and his demigod Ampu. Welcome back, gentlemen. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And welcome back, ladies, as well. I want for all of you ladies to be included, all 4 of you. So let's get jumping into this video, guys, of a woman that is going to be a bit insulting, you know, a bit hateful towards men, because now they no longer want to be with her. They no longer want to pick her as their option.
We can assume men would ideally like to be with a woman in her early 20s, God forbid late teens. We are talking about women, right? Well, then we can understand how most men 40 and up are ruled out, because most women in their 20s recognize that that's fucking creepy. Maybe the men in their 30s can still get away with pulling that, but the men in their 20s? That means they've all got to be going after young, hot 20-somethings and no one else, right? And yet here I am as a woman who just turned the dreaded 35, and the men who are up in my feed? 28, 25, 23, 21, 20. A literal 20-year-old sent me a like the other day. On Hinge. Lately I receive way more...
Yeah, look, it's not that hard to comprehend. I see by your facial expression that you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, if I can say that. But look, I'm gonna explain it to you, little women, alright? A man giving you a like on Hinge doesn't mean that he's gonna put a ring on your finger. Now, you will think that that is basic knowledge. You will think that there's a big difference between a man wanting to get between your legs and a man wanting to be part of your life, but these women don't. They see their likes on Hinge and they're like, oh, look at me. I must be a queen or something. I'm so desired. No, you're not desired. Especially if you seem like the kind of woman that is easy to pull, you get a lot of attention from men. They want a freebie, you know? Nobody is going to say no to a free dinner, you know what I mean? A free meal. So there's that. They don't want to be with you. They don't want to commit to you, which shows why you are single at 35. Do you get it now?
More attention from these 20-year-olds than the men who are 30 and up. By the way, all very good looking. Often I'll see the face before I see the age and think, oh, he's cute. Fuck, why is he so young? And mathematically it makes sense that there are more 20-something single men in the dating pool. But there are also a lot of 20-something single women. Why aren't the men pursuing them? So I'm just here.
No, they are. You'll be shocked to realize. But the question is, why aren't the 20-year-olds choosing men at 20 years old instead of getting run through, becoming the town bicycle, and by 35 making stupid TikToks of why nobody wants to pick them? Riddle me that one out.
You're wondering, what could these men possibly want with me? And naturally, many of you have already concluded, oh, they just want to sleep with you. It's probably some weird older woman kink. They don't want to date you or marry you. Do you think I want to date or marry a 20-something-year-old man? I barely wanted to date or marry them when I was 20-something. And as I've advanced into my 30s...
I know. That's the problem. Let's play that one more time, guys, please.
Date or marry a 20-something-year-old man? I barely wanted to date or marry them when I was 20-something.
I know. You're starting to see the problem. So you blame men for older men, quote unquote, for wanting to be with the 20-year-olds, and you say, oh, why don't the 20-year-old men pursue the 20-year-old women? But then you admit yourself that when you were 20, you weren't paying attention to guys your age. You know, you were probably going for the 30-year-olds who had more money and status. Or just sleeping with chads, you know, like you were not paying attention to the average 20-year-old.
And as I've advanced into my 30s, I try to avoid matching with men who are 29 and under, even if it's casual, because they're just in a different place in life than I am. And that's fine. That's the natural order of things. It makes...
Different place than I am. Her place, guys, is the streets. Don't get it confused.
sense that I would want to partner with someone closer in age for those reasons. Just as it would make sense for any well-adjusted man in his 30s and 40s to want a 35-year-old woman.
Hell
But
no.
the fact that these 20-somethings are after me in droves, I don't quite understand it, but clearly neither do these sexist clowns whose conception of women is so out of date, why anyone would ever bother with the likes of them beats me.
Okay, madam, okay. A very good TikTok, very good logic. You got us. But still nobody wants to pick you. Alright? Sorry, you're expired. No, not only because of the age, guys. I think there are very decent options of women that are 35. Not very many, but very decent. There's a difference there. But this woman is not one of them. She's not the exception, alright? She's your average run-through public toilet 35-year-old that has been messing around all these years, that is quote-unquote tired of the games, ready to settle down. Get out of here. Go buy your 7 cats. Where are they? I don't see no cats in this video, guys. Where are they? Go buy your cats, go buy your boxed wine. It's all coming together. And start making more TikToks about complaining about dating, because it's good content for the channel. Now, guys, let's move on to another one. As we have this woman here, she's gonna complain about dating as well. Let's have a listen.
This is what it's like dating men that are in their 30s and you're in your 20s.
No, what? Wait a minute. We just had a TikTok about a woman complaining why men in their 20s don't go for women in their 20s. What are the odds that the next video will be about a woman? What are the odds? I mean, I pick these videos, but I haven't picked them on purpose, is what I'm meaning to say. And very next video, we have a woman who's 20 dating the 30-year-olds. Only for money and free dinners, of course. Get out of here.
And you're in your 20s. This is their idea of let's go on a first date. And I get it. First dates should not be like big deal energy, but there are certain things to it. Let me just read you what's happening. Let me take you out for some bubble tea tomorrow evening. Sure. Let's do 8. There's a Coco's on Lakeshore in Mimico. We can grab bubble tea and then head to the lake for a walk. This sounds really cute. Don't get me wrong. If this was in motherfucking California. But you know what? I'm not in California. I'm not in Cuba. I'm not in hot weather energy right now. Right now I'm in Canada. I'm in Toronto. And you know what's the date today? February. I'm in the month of February. This is.
Do you see the nails, guys? I'm just staring at them like, holy hell. They always remind me of the Predator hands. They look exactly the same. And this one, guys, probably, we don't see her full arm, you know, but she probably has that tech that the Predator had, that, you know, you can write it down and make it self-explode, you know. Probably has that one. You know what she needs? The invisibility that the Predator had, because she's not the most appealing when it comes to the looks department, you know. So hey, just use your Predator device and turn yourself invisible, please.
This is happening. Are you crazy? I'm not going outside for a walk at 8 p.m. in February. First off,
I think she also waits, probably the same as the Predator, but I don't know.
night walks with men? Murder scene right there. I'm not trying to die. Second off, it's winter. I'm not doing that. Then he says that don't be lazy. Sir, I'm from the Middle East. He's from the Middle East. We're meant to be in deserts, not in Alaska energy, not in -20 going for walks.
He probably said don't be lazy because he saw your body. How can I say this softly, guys? Your build, let's say, and he thought, all right, she probably the kind of person who spends all day eating Cheetos on the sofa, right? So this is why he said don't be lazy.
It'll be fun. Just dress for the weather. Dress for the weather? Is not a little bit of a rain, sir. It is snow. There's a snowstorm outside right now. For what weather? The winter storms? How are you going to hear me? What is the purpose of this walk? Beside the water, there's bare wind. There's so much wind. I'm gonna get blown off. It's like they
I
want
doubt
you to
that.
be bitchy on
I doubt that. Probably a tornado couldn't blow you out.
dates. It's like they want you to be a bitch. It's like, why would you do this to me? Like, do you have any respect for my well-being? So annoyed. He's gonna say hello. I'm gonna be like, because the wind hit me too hard.
Yeah, sure. No, I doubt that. Again, probably a tornado wouldn't move you from your place. But anyway, just a bit of complaining overall, bitching about this, bitching about that. We're all the real men. Then you have a man wanting to invite you to a cute date. Oh no, but this and that. Like, oh man, you're so insufferable. Get out of here. But guys, let's move on to another woman. This one, as you'll be shocked to realize, will also complain. But before that, gentlemen, I have a short comment to make. Now, if you've been watching the channel, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of Ariana Grande. You know, I'm not the best one, guys. I do love her utterly, but yeah, not the top one. Well, I did curse her with the Curse of the Nile a little bit. And look, I know that the Curse of the Nile is strong, but I didn't know it's this fast, guys. Look what she's become. This is a picture. I think the first one is from the 2020. The second one is from 2023 or 2024. So she has been like this for a while now. And yeah. Did I take it too far, guys, with the Curse of the Nile? Probably haven't, you know. But by the way, I have in my tomb a passed away guy in my basement. Not that I've done anything to him. It's just, you know, he used to be in my kingdom like 4,000 years ago, but he's not immortal like I am. So, you know, now he's just a mummified body. And he looks exactly like her. Like, he just looks exactly like that. Malnourished and a bit yellowish. So there's that. Beware, TikTok harpies, unless I cast the Nile curse on you as well, right? Beware. But what else was I going to say about Ariana Grande? Outside of the fact that her music is perfect and I love it, it's probably the most lyrically enlightened lyrics, you know? Contending with Shakespeare, contending with the thoughts of Aristotle. But what else was I going to say about her? I forgot, guys. I forgot. Alright. Now, let's move on to our clip video, as we're going to continue with this woman. She sort of resembles Ariana Grande because she's wasted. That's how I thought about this thing that I'm going to mention. But now, without further ado, guys, let's go back to her.
Okay, I actually want to just document the small ways that men make us feel fucking inferior and like have the power to ruin our night. I just had the best fucking night ever at Phonix. It was so fun. Except at the end, I went to where I left my coat and I realised someone had stolen my coat and my scarf. And this guy who I'd been like sort of in the vicinity of all night was like, oh, like, don't worry, you can go home in my coat. And I was like, oh, are you sure? Because like then you're gonna be cold. And he was like, no, it's fine. So I go down to the lost property and I'm just like, hey, have you got my coat? And they're like, no. And they're like, oh, but if you want, like, we can, if you want to wait till the end, we can give you a coat so you can go home in it. And I was like, oh, no, like, don't worry, this guy's already offered me his coat. So I leave in this guy's coat and we get on the bus together. And immediately I'm like, oh, ulterior fucking motive. Because he's like, oh, why don't you come to mine? Why don't you come to mine? Or I can go to yours, I can go to yours. And I'm like, no, I literally don't want to do that. I just want to get home warm. As soon as he realises that I'm not going to his or he's not coming to mine, he literally leaves me, like, lets me get off the bus. I'm now on the bus home. Look at what I'm wearing.
Yeah, you look like... We all know what she looks like.
It's 2 degrees right now. So I'm now actually just like crying, even though I've had the best night ever. It's just like so fucking humbling. The way that like I could have just stayed at that club and waited for them to give me a coat to go home in, but no, I trusted the kindness of a man's heart, and here I am, still half hour away from home, 2 degrees, in the fucking mesh top and fishnets. because a man expected me to go home with him because he lent me his coat.
Oh no. Here ends the TikTok, guys. Oh no. Very tragic story. Now, of course, what the man did, I think, is pathetic. Either give her the coat or don't bother at all. Don't take it after you realize you're not gonna take her to bed. But anyway, first of all, don't get yourself in that situation. Like, what about not getting intoxicated at 4 a.m. in the morning in a club? What about that? Have you thought about that? And not having to rely on anybody giving you the code. There's a video of the same creator that I have here on the left of her dancing in a disco. And she's so undressed that I cannot even show it on the channel because it will get the video banned. Like, she looks like one of these Pornhub videos, you know? I mean, sorry, but you dress like a professional stitute and you expect any other sort of treatment than that of a professional stitute. Of course the guy wanted to hook up with you. You look like the kind of woman who would, you know? You want to be treated with dignity and respect, behave like it. By, first off, not being intoxicated at 4 a.m. in the morning, and second off, not dressing like that. Like, I'm sorry, guys, but, you know, am I the bad one here? Am I the only one that is expected to not judge people based on how they look? If I go to my office job in sandals, in freaking flip-flops with socks, you know, and instead of trousers or jeans, I wear, I don't know, like beach clothes, you know, like the fucking beach trousers. Do you think people are gonna take me seriously? You know, get out of here. If you want respect, again, I'm not defending what this man did. I'm just saying, if I was him, I probably would have thought you are an easy catch as well. My hell. But now, guys, let's move on to our last video. Let me know what you think about this one. Which, by the way, one last thing, sorry, I forgot to mention. If we reverse the scenario, alright, and you have, let's say, a woman going on a date with a man, and she's having a wonderful time. Let's even say that the man invites the woman to the dinner, right? And they're having a wonderful time and all this fancy and dandy, and the man says, okay, so are we going to split the bill? The woman will probably get pissed as well, you know, like, oh, wait, but you're not going to pay for it? You took me out and you're not going to pay for it? Oh, so you mean you were here not because we're having a good time, but just because you want a free meal? You know, like, when women do it, it's all right. When women do things solely because of their interests, when women do things because of ulterior motives, it's all right. But when men do it, it's not. Apply the same standards. Now, guys, let's move to this woman.
When it comes to women being treated badly by men, men will often say, well, you should have chosen better. So when women increase their standards, all of a sudden there's a male loneliness epidemic, and like women are expected to solve that.
Oh, she got us. Oh no, she done got us, boys. No, not really. First off, women don't increase their standards in two different ways. First off, they don't increase them for all men. They just increase them for the average man. Second, I wouldn't even frame it like that, because it's not like women increase their standards overall. No, they just increase the bullshit of their standards. It's not like they increase their standards after their first bad experience of, oh, you know, I think I'm gonna go for a man who has good morals, who treats his family right, who treats animals right, who is like blue-collar, hard-working man. No. They increase their standards in the sense of, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go for even more attractive men, for men who are even more of a player, for men who are taller. That's how they increase their standards, which is also the reason why there's a male loneliness epidemic. But sure, madam, sure, you got us. You got us. Now, guys, let's move on to our article that is titled Valentine's Day is Horrible. But this one is actually by a male, so not the usual woman crying and wiping tears because nobody invited her for Valentine's. 26-year-old male here, and I have nobody to date with tonight or to go out with. When I come home from work tonight, nobody will be there. Never had a relationship, unfortunately, and this day helps me remember how worthless my romantic life is. All week I am hearing from colleagues and friends about going for dinner tonight with their partners, or all the photos I see on Instagram of happy relationships, and what I'm going to do tonight. And what am I going to do tonight, excuse me? absolutely nothing, like the past 26. I'm not worth a romantic relationship. I'll probably never get a girlfriend. For most days, I can get over it more easily and move on with my life. But on Valentine's Day, it just all comes out and I get so sad. I'm so done with being alone and have nobody to share life with. It's not like I don't try. I use online dating apps for the past years without success. So you're not the brightest, right? I don't know, guys. Like, personally, if I'm trying to fix, let's say, a car, and I spend years trying to fix it and nothing comes out of it, like, at what point do you give up? You know, or if you're trying to get into a hobby or a job or a sport, I mean, there it's a bit different because maybe that's like your biggest goal and you know that you can, but you get the analogy, right? If you're going at something and you're hitting a wall each time, at what point do you think, hey, maybe this thing doesn't work? You know? I went to many real-life speed date events without any romantic relationships as a result. Yeah, I guess that's the reason why men don't go there anymore. There is just nobody for me, and it makes me feel worthless. I haven't received like a Valentine's card or a rose since like high school. I mean, I've never received one, to be honest with you. I'm 4,000 years old, guys. I've never received a flower in my life. Hey, you're already ahead of me, and ahead of most men. For most men, the first flower they receive is when they're in the coffin, you know. But regarding your narrative, look, I understand that a lot of men feel this way, and it's only natural. I don't think it's embarrassing to admit it. Men want female companionship. It's beautiful. Men want to share their life, to have kids, to raise them, you know, to play football with them. Men want to provide for someone. They like doing the gifts and the details. It's only natural that you will feel bad about being alone. But what this man doesn't understand is that on Instagram, you're seeing the happy little pictures that people post. You don't see how the woman is nagging all day long, right? You don't see how the woman will dump his ass in 2 months because she found someone better. And no, not all women are like this, but most women are like this. Like, when you're browsing through Instagram or any social app for that matter, my dude, it's probably like 90% of women are like that. Probably 90% of those women you see posting, oh, he gifted me a rose, he's the best boyfriend ever. Yeah, those women, they're probably gonna dump his ass in less than 3 months. Alright? It's not worth it. Think of it this way, it's not worth it. If it was worth it, if women were worth it and you were a good guy, you probably wouldn't be single right now, you know? You probably wouldn't be going on dating apps and nobody's paying you any attention. You've been years in the dating apps without success. What does that tell you? And you have been years there. Do you notice the sort of men women go for? They just go for the money and the validation. Why would you want someone like that? Like, I will understand a man saying, I'm sad that I don't get to have a good woman by my side, you know? That I will understand. But loneliness itself, why do you feel sad because of loneliness? Personally, guys, I don't feel sad because of loneliness. Because loneliness, compared to what I would have to withstand being with one of these modern women, my hell, it's a blessing, guys, loneliness, you know? Loneliness is tenfold better than being with the average woman nowadays. So taking it that way, you go back home and there's no one there. There's no one to nag you. There's no one cheating on you. There's no traitor who's going to backstab you the moment you don't pull your A game. There's no cheating, ungrateful, bratty, annoying woman that is going to ruin your life and be a nuisance and be a headache. Okay, there's no one who will suck you of your resources, your time and your energy, only to dump you when you become inconvenient or she finds someone better. Think of it that way, you know? And with that thought, gentlemen, yeah, not saying that all women are like this, not saying that... Editor, damn it. No, not saying that... I don't want this to be cope. I don't want men to cope, alright? And to say, oh, well, I'm single, but it's alright because all women are evil. No, not all of them are evil, but there's the thing. The ones who are good are so few and far between that we can't have them all, right? There's not a good woman for every good man out there. So just cut your losses. you weren't lucky enough to be with a good woman. It's all right. It's still better than being alone. You know, we don't always get what we want in life, and that's okay. And especially when it comes to women, it's something outside of your control. You know, you cannot control the cultural narrative. You cannot control women's brainwashing, right? You can just adapt to it. You cannot change, at least not in the next few years. You cannot change all women to go back to being decent human individuals that are worth putting time into. You also cannot change the laws that are staggered against men in a matter of days. You can walk towards it, but it's not going to change from now to tomorrow, you know? So, man, just cut your losses. You've been born in the worst dating year that's ever been. Worse than the previous one and better than the next one, alright? That's the year you were born in. So, just cut your losses. It's not that bad to be lonely. Buy a dog, just like I have Ampu. Go play some video games, go read books, go to the gym. There are so many things you can do and you can invest time into. And all of them are going to be better than doing women. In fact, I'll close on this thought, guys. What do you think is better, doing hard substances or dealing with women? Which one is worse? Both of them are going to shorten your lifespan. Both of them are extremely expensive. Both of them will probably weigh down on you and your physical appearance. Both of them will probably leave you sleepless. Both of them will make you feel like crap after every once and then having like a good moment. Which one is worse? You tell me. There are just so many better things to do. But gentlemen, leave me your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching this episode, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.